I better look at that list.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Where's the list?
It's a real good idea. Real good idea. Oh, got to put my phone on silent.
Oh, me too.
Okay, we're live. Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. If you're already here, we do appreciate it. Real Deal Xbox Podcast. We got a ton of great topics today, and of course, a great panel. We're going to do some introductions. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up, supporting the show, doing what you do. As we we'll ramp things up. We'll start with a pretty good topic as well. But Colt, how you been, buddy?
Good. I like your pun. We'll ramp things up as we get ready to see Monster Truck Champion gameplay on the screen. That's awesome.
Meanwhile, on Xbox.
Yeah, I'm doing good. You and I were playing this in a party the other night and having some good laughs. Like, game came out of nowhere. But
Yeah, it's very rare. I was talking to Punkadish today in the party, and we were talking about this game. It's like very rare that are you caught off guard by a game because it's actually better than what you thought. Something's called Monster Truck Champions. The last thing I'm thinking is, I think I'm going to really like this. But I actually believe this is the best Monster Truck game ever made. And that's not like a tall order, but yeah, I mean, if you're interested, they didn't pay me, but I picked up the game.
It's like Wreckfest with giant tires. I mean, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But
Dealer, they didn't pay me. You see the next Monster Truck event, you see Dealer in a Class VIP suit just sitting there like, wait, what?
No, I just picked it up and having a good time with it. Shout out to Punk as well, Lethal, Obi, everybody, all the moderators again. D-Batch, how you been, bro?
I'm good, man. It's good to be back on the show with you guys today. We got some good topics to get into, and yeah, it's good to take a break from the everyday grind and just talk gaming.
Facts. We've also got my cat that just jumped on me. Tim Dog, brother, how you been?
Been good. Happy to be here another week. Lots of stuff to talk about this week, and happy to be here.
Yes, thank you very much. Stalker, brother, how you been?
Good, man. Glad to be here. Had a long day at work, and honestly, I was looking forward to this. There's a lot of topics, man. Like, even when I was at work, I was just kind of looking at Twitter and here and there, and I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Tim Sweeney, throwing shit out there. He's like, I got the tapes, bitch.
Yeah, he sure was. Tim Sweeney. Shout out to Tim. Every time we say Tim's name tonight, Colt will cringe a little bit. But we will be talking about Tim Sweeney and some of that stuff going on. Pong, so shout out to you, brother Yodani, Ice Cold, my son Flame, simply known as Flame in the chat, Spider-Man, Assassin Lupa, Ashtray Gaming, all you guys, you're amazing. Thank you. And I think that's Fonz isn't here tonight. Let me pull up these. I should already have these pulled up. He is an emergency ass implants again. I mean, everyone on the show keeps getting ass implants, so I don't really know what's up with that. But Fonz is the next one.
They keep getting popped, especially on. Never mind. I'm not gonna even go there.
All right, well,
I'm not gonna even go there. I'm not doing it.
It's weirder now. You might as well just go. No, okay, I'm gonna give some shout outs.
We're moving on. Let's go get shout outs.
Let me say thank you very much for my shout out to Ricky Falan. I don't know how to pronounce this, sir, but I do believe that is correct. Let me know if it's not. Johnny No Life, Nano Polymath, Max Power Plays, Faultline Z, Fierce Fuzz, MegaLifeCBD.com, Not Silik. We've also got Adam Opentree. Or wait, hang on a second. Alex Emery, my bad. It actually went down one. Elk Dude YouTube, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nano Polymath again, because I said it once already. Zordon, Costanza, Wayne, Scout Trooper 74, KY Bob, Wakanza XNT, Goose 8402, Srahat Khalifa, Assassin Lupa. And then we got Foreign Object, Gabqueeze, Teo, John Blue, Beck Boss Dieter. I actually spoke to John Blue for the first time ever in a party like a week or two ago. I was like, holy crap, I thought you were British. Shout out to John Blue. He's been watching the show forever. We've also got, Beck Boss Dieter X, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, as well as All Might, Gaz, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. Thank you guys so much for what you do. As we, I guess, firstly, we could kind of start with a lighter topic, FPS boost, and this is the light topic, right? FPS boost, over 70 titles now enhanced throughout the last week, including EA titles. This is a big deal. I do want to say first and foremost, if your game does not come defaulted with FPS boost on, kind of like Recore, I think it had FPS boost on by default. If it's off by default, that means you lose the X enhancement. Is that correct? If you turn it on, you play the Xbox One S version of the game. If you turn it on, if you turn it off, you get the X enhancement back.
Right.
So
yeah.
You know, this is kind of a big deal. This is a technology that has never ever really been done like this before, and on such a consumer level, right? Like millions of people are benefiting. Anthem at 60 FPS. I mean, that game's tolerable now. Shady's loving that game, by the way. Shout out to him. Mad Max and more. Like, what are your thoughts, D, on this?
Yeah, first of all, I think it's pretty amazing that like it doesn't require any work from the developer. It's just something that they're able to do with the new hardware. And I always talk on Microsoft being a leader in software, and this is where this pays off, because you know it's minimal effort and you're getting games running at 60 frames per second, like Assassin's Creed Unity, Deus Ex, Mankind, Wasteland 3, the Far Cry series. They're all like 60 frames per second, and we got the 120 FPS games, man, from EA. Like the Battlefield games are getting the boost. Let me see the list here. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is getting it. Plants vs. Zombies, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront, Titanfall, Titanfall 2, Unravel 2, 120 frames per second. Now, a lot of people kind of laughed when, you know, some of us were getting our 120 hertz TVs and saying, oh, the next generation console is not going to be able to support 120 hertz. You're probably going to have like 1 or 2 games that do that. You're going to be stuck at 30 frames per second. Wow, you guys are eating crow now, because Microsoft is really delivering here. And I'm surprised that the competition doesn't have something in... They don't really have any 120 FPS games. They have a few.
They have like 11 or something. Yeah.
It's a really small number in comparison. Microsoft is just really killing it. And what I really like is that it takes no effort from the developers. So the fact that people want to make fun of you playing your old back compat titles now is a reason to play them at 60, 120 frames per second is a completely different gaming experience on certain games for sure.
Well,
and all you guys having 60 FPS now on the Series X, come on, go back and play your 30 FPS games. Go ahead.
Well, to Zucker, I want to throw it to you, but I got to point this out.
Yep.
Somebody said, sorry, buddy, I didn't catch your name. It was real quick. I barely saw it. But he said that you got to admit these games that are X enhancements do look pretty bad, though, on 4K TVs. And that can be the case. Like, I'm not denying that at all. That's why the option's there. But I will also say that this game, this is hitting and benefiting more non-enhanced games than enhanced games, probably. So you got games like Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. You've also got games like Mad Max that never got in 1X patch that now run at double the frame rate and look pretty good.
Yeah, and one of the big games... Funny thing is, one of the big games I saw on there that I played but wasn't able to beat because my PC died was Dragon Age Inquisition.
Ooh.
Like, that is to me, one of the best RPGs last generation. And for that to get an enhancement, plus like the 97, almost 100 games getting these enhancements, is insane. And it's all
Dragon Age got enhanced?
Which ones?
Oh,
Dragon
Age did. Okay, go ahead.
Dragon Age Inquisition, on the Xbox, 60 frames, man. Like, I want to go back and play that on there and see how it is, because I really enjoyed that game. I put I think 80 hours in it and still didn't beat it. But anyways, the enhancements, the best word about this, free. It's free. Like, you don't got to pay.
Wait, how much?
Like,
it cost?
literally,
how many dollars?
Dude, the funny thing is, it's free for us and the developer, because the Xbox hired a team to do it. Like, they put the effort in there. And I know a lot of people say, like, hey, it's just a switch that they can hit and it goes to 60. That's not the way it works, people. Like, in some instances, some developers that are extremely detailed in what they do, and depending on what engine they use, it's kind of like that. But a lot of games like these that were developed 5, 6, 7 years ago, it's not like that. So for Xbox to put the money up front and put these developers, like their own developers, to do this is kind of insane. Like, this value is insane, and to me, it's kind of like a sorry note to us. Like, I just bear with me for a second. Like, last generation, Xbox got last generation Xbox got destroyed, right? Like, come on, the resolution gate, all this bullshit. It's like they're going back in time and being like, "Yo, our bad. Here you go. This is what you get for free. Don't even worry about it. We got this." And a lot of these games are in freaking EA Play and Game Pass. So if you want to go back and play them, just download them right now. You can download them.
Yeah. I just want to add real quick. Do you remember before when before the generation was going to start, we were talking about developers need to enable at least a 60 frames per second option in all the games? This is like perfect. People complaining, saying, "Oh, you lose the X advancements. Listen, this is an option. So if you want to play the game at 120 FPS, you want to play it at 60 FPS, you have the option. If you want to play it at native 4K, you have that option too. I think it's good for all gamers. And some of these games running, they might not have some of the enhancements, but 120 FPS, that super smoothness is just crazy. And a lot of these games have such great temporal upscaling and stuff that you can't even. Well, you could tell it's a lower resolution, but it's not to the point where it's real jagged and blurry. It's an option, and I'll take frames per second.
Give me the frames.
98% of the time over the native resolution, and I think the option is great, man. Honestly.
I want to throw it to Colt here. Kirby, by the way, developer in the chat, a moderator. Thank you for hammering the crackheads in the chat. He says, Zalker, it's the driver hack. They do actually just flip a switch. I think more it's the manpower, because they actually have to clear these games. They have to send testers through, right? That's why it took
he said
them
that,
so long
he
for
said
Fallout.
Back Compat team does that. He said back
so they run through and actually play through the games, right?
Yeah, they check each game and check the logic in it and see if it's tied to the FPS. And if it's not, then they can flip it.
But
is what he's saying.
Cultist, what's your thoughts on this FPS boost and all this stuff?
One of the things I wanted to say was when this first came out at the beginning of the generation, everyone's like, where is this? And I was even asking, where is this? When I talked to Jason Ronald, right? Hey, where is this FPS boost?
He's
and he's shaking his part in his beard looking for it. But yeah, he said that they would have a few out every couple weeks. And so I thought it'd be just like we saw with the Back and Pat. And they put out 5 games, and then they put out 12, and then they put out 74 games the other day
because they saw the reaction to 5. They're like
holy crap. And it makes you think that there's that they're able to kind of crank through these and test them fast. They're really hustling on them, and they know that certain you can see a pattern with some of the games that run in the same engine. They know that one works, so they go ahead and bust through 4 games in the series, and it's just awesome. I was playing Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition today.
I saw that.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to I was actually playing that a couple of years ago, trying to get back into it. It's one of my favorite games from the last generation before. Yeah, it's just people knock it about the old games things, but we're all playing multiplats right now. And most of us have played through all of our games that we wanted to play, but going back and just playing an hour or two of these games, oh my gosh, it's been so fun. Playing Shadow Warrior at 60 again is so great, man.
Can I be honest? Who here saw all those games 70 plus games? I went straight to see if Batman Arkham Knight got it, and I was like, nope, of course not. I was like, nope,
fix it. Come on, flip the switch.
Yeah, I fucking flipped my desk. I was like, shit.
Oh yeah, the game with auto HDR by itself is big. Let me read a few of these real quick because again, I try to get to all these super chats. I tell you guys that I can't always do it. But seriously, thank you for what you guys do. Greg E3X says, let it be known for this day forward that he got himself an Xbox Series X at freaking last. Holy crap! I know you robbed somebody for it. Tell the truth. I mean, seriously, I can't find them on shelves anywhere. So, good job, Greg. Johnny 6, thanks for coming to channel member. Not Andy. Nice to meet you, Not Andy. He says, Returnal, a $70 quick resume ad. What the hell? Oh, the crashes? Is that what he's making fun of? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
If you close the game, you lose everything.
Yeah, the crashes. Yeah, if you let the console go in standby mode or shutdown mode, or if you go out, I went out and went to YouTube, and when I came back, it went back to the menu of Returnal.
Wow. So $70.
But you can't launch any. You can't launch.
And there's an
any
online
other
and offline mode too, Zucker, and I'm not even activating the online mode. So.
Well, what people are basically so you get 5 or whatever games that you can have running at the same time on Xbox, and it doesn't shut them down, so you can just quick resume through them. Mm-hmm. Basically a Returnal, if you die before defeating a boss, you lose everything, you start all over. So that's what people are saying, is that they can't play anything else if they're in a Returnal run. So they're just shit, I need to either die or beat the boss, and I can't go jump and play Warzone with a friend or something. Because then you start all over.
Play multiplats on the PS5, Docker.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was just exclusive.
I now want quick resume on my PlayStation that fell off a cliff.
I mean, it would. It's the perfect advertisement for it, to be quite honest.
It really, it kind of is. But quick resume's had its issues too, but it's gotten so much better.
It's 10 times better.
Yeah, I've got 20 days in 2K now. Holy shit!
Okay.
I need help.
Right.
Chat.
I'm glad we're here
Someone
live.
send me
Let's
to
have an
Palm Springs
intervention.
or whatever it's called.
For the intervention.
We need an intervention, dude.
Oh man, Psychonauts. He says shout out to everyone on the panel and in the chat, of course. May the 4th be with you. Shout out to you, brother. Psychonauts is a good guy. Did a podcast with him not long ago. Really cool guy. And then I'll do another one. Unrolled Grizz, very interesting name. He says happy to see you guys. I just ordered my Series X and he's so excited for it. This is the last week. Oh, okay. Man, I hate it when you guys. This stuff is sad, man. I just.
He said this last week. Discovered my grandfather has stomach cancer. God bless y'all.
Well, just enjoy enjoy him while you can, man. I mean, I've personal experience with that kind of stuff, and I was reading it. I was happy, and I was like, damn it. But seriously, man, thanks for checking out the show, and we wish you the best, seriously. And I'll come back to DJ Hero and on further into the show. But, yeah, I mean, FPS boost, right? We can boost past the topic. By the way, DJ Hero, he says that, where's this 120 FPS Sunset Overdrive game? I don't know. That's something where I think Microsoft could open up a kind of like they did with Back Compat and let people suggest those games, right? I think people in the chat were saying that when they were doing this. It's a great idea. Go on there, put in Batman Arkham Knight until they do it, and then you can vote on the games you want. But after Arkham Knight's good, then we can get Sunset Overdrive. Does that sound like a plan?
Sunset Overdrive in the topics. I'm looking really quick.
It is not.
Can I speak on the topic?
Yes, sir.
Couple of things. I tried Assassin's Creed Unity. Anybody who has the FPS boost, obviously everyone does. Try that game. I'm really impressed with it. I know that me and you have went back and forth sometimes about 30 frames and 60 frames per second. This is a perfect example of 60 frames per second. You really, really notice it. Very good job there. One of the things I've heard is that you're probably going to have hundreds of 120 frames per second games on Xbox, and you're going to have thousands of 60 frames per second. So the dream that we were sold or that we wanted was this. We wanted frames per second. We wanted this stuff to come to console. And as of now, Xbox is really the one pushing it forward. And, it's one of the reasons why there's so much positivity. Every 2 weeks, they're going to just keep pushing and pushing. They have, I don't know, D, maybe there is a company working with them with this. Did you read that? There is a company that's helping them out with this frames per second boost.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the company.
Frame boosters,
yeah.
Can I
go ahead?
Bunker buster.
I got to say something that just came in from a DM. This is from AC3 Tony on Necromancer on.
Shout out to Tony.
Necromancer on Twitter. He sent me a PUBG Discord discussion from a PUBG developer that said there's no next gen planned currently for PUBG on the new consoles. And someone says, what are the frame rates and resolutions for the new patch on the new consoles, because they want to patch it up. He goes, no additional details to share, but 120 FPS isn't something we are aiming for. PlayStation consoles can't achieve that without a full next-gen update.
Wow.
So I'm assuming that's all about, are you going to get 120 when this goes to Xbox Series X and PS5 through back and pat, and they're saying that the PS5 can't do it through back and pat, which we've seen quite a bit where there is no 120 FPS on the PS5, but there is on Series S and X.
Yeah.
So it sounds like PUBG is in this, if anybody still plays that religiously.
I had I can't say that. I had a particular person reach out to me about the Modern Warfare, the state of Modern Warfare on Series S and X. And he was talking about how there were some issues with stuttering and stuff like that on the Series X, but they've gone back and actually improved on that kind of stuff. And just keep in mind, not only is the back and pat more accessible, it's easier to work with. Apparently, it's more automatic. Let's put it that way. But then you'll get those automatic HDR and FPS boost stuff that they don't even have to mess with. It's a league of its own. Like, it's not even close. And Tim, I would say that this isn't even what they sold us on. We were hoping that all the new games would be 60 FPS. We told them about Valhalla. We told them about Watch Dogs and all this stuff. You had the people talking shit. They come back. They confirm they're updating, or they have updated for the frame rates. And this back and pass stuff is just like extra. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you're saying
I know.
1,060 FPS games, you would assume they're just going to do that to a ton of games over time and a ton of 120 FPS titles as well.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
So there'll be. Listen, at this point, you have like what 50, 42 or 150.
75 120 FPS games so
I mean,
far.
that's crazy. I mean, listen, and there's going to be more and more TVs. There are going to be more and more built into this generation that are going to support that. We're just at the beginning of that. So, and also I heard I had asked somebody. I said, well, what was giving you the bigger response? These enhanced games that you got that were backwards compatibility, and they said probably like 3-to-1 more hype with the frames. People are really loving this stuff. They like the resolution stuff, and I was one of those guys. But like I said, after playing Unity, you just sometimes you get it. Sometimes, listen, for me, I've always been one of those guys, and I've talked about this, that I don't really know. I don't go crazy about frames like Fonz does or like Dealer does. I've had arguments with Dealer, like, oh, well, maybe it's a younger person realizes it better, but when it hits you and when you really experience it, and I experienced it with Unity, it's like a different game. Like, I'm playing Unity, I'm like, I'm going to finish this game. I'm flying around, smashing people in the head, and it's just, it's like, it's just like you're not that slow feeling is gone, and it really opens up. So, like I said, I was told Unity was one of the better, and I immediately just started it up, and man, that game, the auto HDR, some people say it oversaturates, but it is gorgeous.
I'll take it.
Try it out, Pat.
The game was good looking at launch. I mean,
yeah.
It just wasn't that great of a game, but yeah, it was good looking.
And it still looks amazing. Like, there are technologies in that game, because they overshot what this past Xbox One generation was going to be. They would, I guess they thought it was going to be more. And
I remember being in the
handle that stuff.
cathedral and the interior, like glowing light and the stained glass. Like, I'd never seen anything like that on a console before.
And even still, like, I don't think Ubisoft's
now
made a better
60.
looking game.
No, they haven't. No.
And that game is around 60 FPS on Xbox, and it's like
Do
it's
you
like watching a
remember-
PC version, like medium or something, like. But 60 FPS, like, you could stream that game today, and people are like, looks pretty good.
You remember D and Dealer? I got to ask this. Remember back in 2017 when we were making YouTube videos when the 1X or the Scorpio, Project Scorpio was the name back then. We were like talking about, hey, is it possible are a bunch of these games just going to be 60 automatically, not knowing like how many of these games were locked down? And you fast forward like 6 years later, and it's finally happening. It's unprecedented on console. Console games are like completely locked, pretty much, right? And now Microsoft has found a way to not only make all your back compat games better right off the bat, but now they've got them even better with the boost, because they're already better than the PS5 just the way they do back compat. So it is the best place to play that way.
And then you got to think too that this is an open world game, because back then when we were talking about the possibility of it going to 60 frames per second, people are like, no, it's not gonna happen. It's an open world game. Like, it's gonna be 30 frames per second, bro. And like it's running at 60 FPS, and that, like, especially for you guys, because I play Assassin's Creed and I play it on the PC, so I have experienced 60 frames per second. But admittedly, I'm not I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed player like you guys. So for you guys, though, to have played through that whole game and come back and play it at 60 frames per second, it's such a new experience that I'm pretty sure you guys are going to probably play through the whole experience again.
I don't know.
We got to make an honest man out of you, D. What's going on with Assassin's Creed Origins? Like, you heard from a
He's
dev
like,
that it'd be 60
so
frames.
good on Nvidia.
So do you guys know, Dealer D, do you know is there a different engine that Origins and Odyssey came up with than what was on Unity and Syndicate? Is that why we're not seeing the
It's
boost
built
mode
on
on
the
that?
Anvil engine. The newer ones are. What I think it was the same engine with Unity. So I mean, I don't want to go into specific games, right? Because I mean, people got lives and stuff like that. But I mean, I think we could all agree it's gorgeous. You know,
Yeah.
it looks phenomenal. The frame rates, you know, we've been talking about frames on this podcast forever. When motherfuckers was damage controlling that shit back in 2017, 2018, you know, no, it's just better, right? So, and I say damage control jokingly, right? But still, like, that's something that we've always wanted, and it's so cool to see it come to games. We went Batman Arkham Knight. Any other suggestions for the chat? Let us know.
I'm
Suggestions
just happy
for the
Tim.
back
I'm just happy
FPS
Tim's
stuff.
seen the light.
Say what?
I'm just happy Tim's seen the light.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Yeah, I mean-
like literally, like I'm just happy because like it's night and day when you play. I can't go back to 30 at all, like ever.
Yeah.
Like I just can't. Like I'm done. I'm never doing it again. Like I tried. I think on one game because my girl has a 1X, and I just said I was like I just turned it off. I was like I'm done. I can't. And she was like, oh, stop being stubborn. I was like, nah, you don't know.
Sorry, you just don't know about these frames, girl. You're on the Switch.
Yeah.
You're on the
For
Switch.
real.
It's definitely real, and again, it's something that you have to really try to experience for yourself or feel it. Like once it clicks, it clicks. And I agree. Like I wouldn't want to. I remember I played Unity. I played it when I went to the Sunset Overdrive event when they were revealing. I played it in New York, and I was actually playing with the developers. And I played like like an hour and a half. And I said it was beautiful and everything, but so I had familiarity with the game. But when I played it last night, and from what I remember, I was like, "This is now an experience where, it's just so much more. You just feel better. It's the feeling of the game. And if you remember, Phil kept talking about that this generation, and when he talked about Xbox, he said, yeah, we have all the 12 teraflops and all this and that, but I think gamers will start to recognize the feel of the console that you'll get to know it. And that's exactly what he's talking about. When you get that, when you have that epiphany, like I did, you really realize, like, wow, like, yeah, you can't go back. It's so much faster. It's like driving 60 miles per hour versus like 25.
It's nice to be able to see, what you're doing, which is great.
Yeah.
Chat, by the way, again, if you have any suggestions for the Microsoft team, the FPS boost stuff, and it hadn't already been enhanced, please list it in the chat, and we can kind of run a few of those off. But again, I'd also like to know your thoughts on some of those as well. Which ones are you enjoying? I talked to Shady. He was really loving the Anthem and Mad Max patches, and myself, I went back and played a few games. But again, I've been playing this damn monster truck game. Somebody asked how much it was. I think it's $20, $25. Ramp off cars. All right. So let me go and give a shout out to Alex
steering,
Hill.
baby.
Alex Hill. He says purchased a 77-inch LG CX, like a wallpaper TV, then, huh? He says he bought that today, and RDX is the first thing he's using it for. No screen burn. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. He says, can't wait to try it out. 120 FPS games with Series X. Yeah, man. I mean, the chat's drooling right now, brother. Congratulations. Enjoy your TV. I remember the first OLED I got, and it was night and day. Tim's got 47 of them, and he'll give those out in the chat later. He'll literally hand you an OLED through the chat, okay? He's got one of those old 1080p OLEDs.
Yeah,
Tim's
a pioneer. He was one of the first.
Yes, I got Mikey Barrett into it. And he can deny it all he wants. But he was like, what TV do you have? And I was like, yeah, I got the, I think it was the C6 at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the 1080p.
C1.
I gave that away to my my daughter-in-law, so she's happy with it.
That TV, not to go off topic, just real quick. That TV had the best 3D, man. It was
The best.
The 3D was just incredible on that TV.
The best I've ever seen.
It was powerful enough to kill the
Literally
conversation.
looked like you had 7 edibles. Well, let's move on.
7 edibles. Hey, somebody mentioned. Hang on, I want to shout out the names here. We had somebody say Midnight Club, and another one Dragon Ball Kakarot. But yeah, I lost him. Sorry. Kirby, by the way, he does this FPS boost wishes for me. Ace Combat 7, both SO.
Yes.
What is that? SAO.
Sunset Overdrive?
SAO games.
SAO. I don't know what that is.
Crap, Kirby, crap. He says all Sonic the Hedgehog games. He also says
Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online. Okay, I can't believe you just thought we would know that, Kirby.
Stalker's a nerd.
I freaking dude. I couldn't. I was like, I got to know what this is. What is it?
He says Minoria and Tuhu Luna Knights. You got some interesting picks, Kirby. I got to give you that. I don't. He also says Mamadora. There you go. Okay, I want to make sure I'm getting these right. And shout out to everyone who enjoys those games, because I have no idea what those are, but I'm sure they're awesome. 120 FPS just made them better. How about that? Let's just sack
Dying Light.
Dying Light. There we go.
I played Dying Light too. I mean, yeah, we got to move on. We could talk about. I tried out like 5 or 6 of these games yesterday. So
yeah, I saw your Shadow Warrior clip.
Yeah, it's a little messy. You know, that game was already kind of a low res. I think it's probably one of those.
It never got enhanced, though, right?
Yeah, it never got enhanced. So
you just get double the frame rate. No negative to it.
No, yeah, it's still great. Yeah,
but yeah, shout out to almost 1,500 people watching us live, guys. Already hit the like button. If you haven't, let's try to get closer to 1,000 people. Hitting the like button for the end of the show. It does mean a lot. It helps a lot. Share it out on your favorite social media platform, including. I'm not going to say it. We'll just switch it to Grindr. Hit the not to Grindr, Twitter. Yeah, that's what I meant. So yeah, let's go ahead and.
All right,
we're gonna go to Master Chief Collection. 10 million players already on the PC. That's a big deal. I didn't want to stay on this for more than 47 seconds, but I did want to throw that out there. Right? That's when I saw that, I was like, Jesus, you guys had no games on PC to play.
Halo's dead. Yeah. That's the funny stuff people say.
Halo's
dead franchise. Xbox is dead at the moment, or ATM's like.
This is when we're really gonna see the value of Microsoft's franchise and the investment into Game Pass paying off when Halo Infinite comes out, and you see all the guys on PC playing it, all the guys on consoles playing it, and then you're gonna see that Halo is not dead. PC guys have been waiting for Halo forever, and when it comes day and date on PC, as consoles, it's going to be a big thing. I'm gonna foresay that it's going to be like close to the launches that we're used to, where there was a lot of excitement from the media. You know, there was a lot of build up to it. You know, you were seeing articles on CNN. I think we're going to see that with the next Halo launching. In Game Pass on PC, I just think there's going to be a lot of gamers.
Plus free to play online.
Hold on. We got to be, but let's be, a little grounded here.
Stalker,
if they port it perfectly to PC, if it comes all shitty, then it's going to be bad.
Well, that goes without saying, though, right?
I know, but like people just think it's going to automatically be like that. This is the first time they're launching it on PC day and date, so it needs to go smoothly.
I think the
years.
Server
issues are every freaking online game is going to be.
I think we can guarantee server issues.
Monster Truck
so many people jumping on Halo Infinite online.
I just have a feeling that on PC,
because you're the only one playing it.
I think on PC for the most part, I think it'll be a good launch. I think with DX12 and all the features that they're using on the consoles that stretch across to the PC, because we got RDNA 2 GPUs in the PC, we got the NVIDIA 3000 series that are doing DX12 Ultimate. I think for the most part it'll be good. I think it's just going to be server issues. I think that's a scratch.
If you look carefully in the footage, there's a part where I'm upgrading. I put a 3080 in my monster truck too. It's got RDNA 2 now.
Walker, do you make fun of Dealer for getting #1 and he's the only person playing this game?
That's what I talking about server issues. I said monster truck didn't have server issues.
And then I said because you're the only one playing it.
I thought I saw the scoreboard and Dealer had like the top score. And there's like 5 people who played.
Oh, God.
Like, congrats, you're the best in the world.
I shared it out on Twitter, and since I did, I don't know how many people just bought it randomly. Like, that does look cool. Like, I had no idea about it. But anyway, we're talking about a damn monster truck game. I want to move forward. I want to go ahead and I mean, when I saw 10 million players on PC, I won't lie, I was very surprised by that. And then I said, well, 80% of those are bots, so oh well.
Well,
you're an idiot.
Dealer, what was that game that came out, that Xbox game that hit Steam? Forza Horizon. That was like almost 3 years old. Yeah. Forza Horizon 4, right?
How many people
played
it got
on Steam? Like top sales. And there's another little Xbox game that was up there
went to Steam later as well, I think.
Yeah, well, there was a game that Zucker remembers. There's a game went to Steam like last month. An Xbox game. I can't remember. Whatever.
For using free.
It's just weird. Like it was one of those like exclusive games that sold really well and went to Steam's like, you guys have like 1 million games on that storefront.
Huh.
Yeah, no, the PC thing doesn't surprise me because I've actually a lot of people I know, like from school or from wherever, have actually been going through the campaigns with the Master Chief Collection through Game Pass, and I know people that are like, "Oh, I'm on 2, or I'm on 3," and I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "I never played it on Xbox," and they're like, "I'm just playing it on PC now, getting for the new one." They're like, "Is it the new one coming out?" And I'm like, "Yep." So I know a lot of people playing Halo right now, so it doesn't surprise me at all that it's that many people playing it, and that's why I hope it launches flawlessly on PC and Xbox.
You
and
hope
we get
it
a freaking
launches
awesome
well?
experience.
What? Unheard of.
I do. I know, right?
You're not
Like,
like
we don't wish a
gamer
Game
who
Boy.
says 95% of games in Game Pass are trash. Well, how's that stomping the shit out of PlayStation Now right now? I don't understand. Because it ain't like Microsoft had any first-party games to even power the damn service yet. Wait until Halo hits or something else, right?
Yep. Starfield.
Starfield.
Troglodytes Part 2.
So I want to go to Tim for this one.
Warhammer Darktide. Ooh!
I'm looking forward to that one. I'll be honest.
Shoot.
Tim Dog, Sony, what the F happened to... Don't whisper this so no one hears. What the heck? What happened to Microsoft and Discord? You lied to me.
No, I think that they offered them $12 billion and they got cold feet, and they figured,
And Sony came up with a little space heater and put it on their feet. What happened? Why do they have a deal now?
The funny thing about that is I honestly think that deal would probably still be going if, let's say, Microsoft purchased them. I think that Microsoft still would, would have done that deal with them, integrated. That's the idea, to get more people. So I thought it was kind of funny, the hyping, or the putting up that, and saying, look here, we got Discord, haha, it's a big deal. When, if Xbox guys, we didn't even do that. We were saying that this could lead to more acquisitions. But well,
they were hyping up a fighting game tournament acquisition.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They were hyping that, and like if Xbox guys did that, they would have get clowned. So a little bit of a double standard there. I do think that to be honest, it was a disappointment that they didn't get it. But you can only go so far. You offer $10 billion, they say no. Then you go $12 billion. You put a limit on it. Maybe Discord was, I think they just got cold feet and they said, listen, if we go IPO, and I think they made the right decision, to be honest. 12 billion seems to be kind of low, and I believe Microsoft is the highest bidder, but
I kid at the beginning there, Tim. Like, you're one of the most credible guys in the community. You've proven that over and over and over. And on the show, when you talked about this stuff, you were talking about why you think it would happen. It didn't turn out. This happens. But my question is, what is the deal with Sony and Discord? Why are these guys trying to hype this up for some reason? What do they think they're getting, and what are they actually getting from this?
Zork, you could go ahead, Zork. What do you want to say?
So as for the deal, I remember Tim, you were saying that Discord kind of approached Xbox. To me, I think it was a negotiation tactic because they were negotiating with Sony, and I think they were using that to be like, hey, we have other options. So they probably got more money out of Sony, because to me, this is a complete PC play. This is Sony trying to connect their network to PC. There's 140 million users on Discord, and a lot of that is on PC, and a lot of it's like on gaming. So not only are they working with Epic Games with their store and providing money there, but they're also working with Discord to connect PSN accounts where you can talk to your friends that are on PlayStation, and then they'll be on their Discord. So that to me shows that a lot of games from Sony are going to be coming to PC, like we've been saying for years. And this is they don't have the architecture or the infrastructure like Sony does, or like Xbox does, where they can just connect it to Windows and bam. Like I'm on, like a lot of us are on Windows or whatever on our Xbox Live parties, and we're all connected. They don't have that on Sony. So if they want to bring their games to PC, they want to keep everything connected and keep you in their ecosystem, much like Xbox does. So that's all it is. It's an end-to-end user, and they don't have the infrastructure to do it, so they're using third-party, investing hundreds of millions of dollars into third-party software so they can have those things connected. That's what I think is happening.
I agree. I definitely think it definitely. That's what I thought was funny too. Is that you have all these people cheering this on, and like they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They don't even know the capacity or what full integration means.
Nope.
You know, so it's a little funny that the whole thing went down. But I do think though, like I said, that I think Microsoft kind of wanted the deal. It's just that you know, sometimes. As I said, I think we talked about it last week. I think I made this point. You know, that's why Bethesda deal was so awesome. Was that, you know, a lot of times these deals fall through.
Yeah.
A lot of times they hit snags, or somebody says, you know what, I wanna, you know.
We know
I
other
heard-
deals like
I heard the Gearbox one was Phil basically said, "We'll be interested unless you lose that guy Randy." And they just,
Randy.
oh man,
they basically walked off. So there's a lot of things that obviously that's a rumor, and I am not, you know, substantiating that, but you know, that's the type of stuff that goes on, and just to get the deal solidified with ZeniMax, which is still blows up my mind that it still has happened, is huge.
yeah, it is. And the Gearbox thing, we were talking about that months ago, and that was something that. It's like, holy crap, like if that were to happen, you know, Borderlands 4 stuff, and that would be massive. Also, Capcom apparently, you know, was something that they tried to go after before, which is, yeah, that's a big deal.
They went for EA. I mean, the Xbox is, you know.
So we're coming for your children.
People
Hide your kids.
saying, "Wow, we're investing 198 million into our studios."
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and cheering about that. But listen, Xbox is they're actively looking still, and I think that we're probably going to get some deals. It's just going to take time, and you know.
I'll say this: if EA was ever to sell, it would be to Microsoft. They have such a great relationship, man.
Yeah, they do. And I think it was Colt that said something like this when they were bringing up the amount that Sony were going to invest. I think we were on the phone, and he said, well, what is that, like 2 God of Wars? Or what is that, like, you know, I mean, is it a God of War in half or something? Like, do you think 200 million is really going to make a massive difference, especially compared to, well, before the Bethesda acquisition, they were already pretty even in studios. Now, it's not even close. 200 million, what do they need, Colt?
I don't know. I think we said that last week. Yeah, 180 million can be like 2 big AAA games, but
it can be like 1 in 75% of a Shadow of a Tomb Raider.
But maybe, you know, maybe you can get 4 timed exclusives from big AAA teams with that much money. So I don't know how that works. I can't imagine it's superly expensive to get a game like a year early over Xbox, but I don't know. PlayStation already has a great net investment into first party. They just don't have as many big studios as Xbox does right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's really what it's down to. And everyone's gives me a pretty big hard time because I'm really excited about where Xbox is heading because I watched them sit on the bleachers. They're sitting in the dugout for like 2 or 3 years straight.
Them mop the floor like the janitor mode, you know, or whatever, right?
Yeah, they're picking up sunflower seeds out of the dugout, and I'm like, "Come on, Xbox, make some games." And everyone's like, "Where are they?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, they were basically riding the pine." I love doing these baseball things right now.
Riding the pine. All right, go ahead.
They were riding the pine for like forever, and then in 2018 they started buying and building studios. So if you're out here expecting them to put out bangers in 2 to 3 years, you're rooting for the wrong team.
So
I don't want them to put out.
Mark McGuire walked in and said, "Hey guys, let's go!" And like, what happened? Like, I mean, shout out to everyone playing. It will be the show on Xbox, by the way, right now. Let us know your thoughts on that. But yeah, seriously, I mean, how long is that game going to be in Game Pass? Is it going to be like another month, another week? Like how long?
I would think it would be there through the baseball season, but that pushes 6 months. You know,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's going to be there for a while. I noticed that there are some games that returned. I saw Grand Theft Auto return to Game Pass.
Yeah, you're going to want that game in Game Pass when World Series, playoff time. People get back on games and get excited about playing the baseball game, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Gives out some good gamer score. I'll tell you that. Nano Polymath, by the way, thanks for the super chat, brother. We've also got Cedric. He says Batman Arkham series. He wants all of them FPS boosted. I agree. New channel member. We've got Bacon. I don't even know how to pronounce that, sir. Ben Kenobi. Okay, that's all one word. Fuck me. All right. Yes, thanks for becoming a channel member. Also got Unruled Grizz. He says, hope Xbox gets WB. Lord of the Rings, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones. Is that it, right? Batman, etc. Yeah, that would be very, very interesting. And then we've got one from Psychonauts here, if I can get this stupid thing to scroll correctly. He says, Halo 20th anniversary. That would be this year, right? So that's big. I want a reversible cover with Craig on it, and I'll buy the physical version.
20 years already.
That's what I want. Dark CMF says, I didn't jump in last week, but I expect the Game Pass will support 45 million subscribers.
Surpass
45 million subscribers by this time by next year between Halo and Starfield. So he's saying, but with those two releases alone, not counting all the other, 30 studios.
He's saying he's basing it off of Microsoft does in fact get 30 million by holiday. He thinks that by next summer they could be at 45, which is actually a pretty good prediction. Thinking about all these games that are coming. That would be nuts.
He also says this is the most important part. According to him, he says this is by far the most important part. Please read this the most. He says he's also happy to see that there are baby carrots this week. Yes, there are baby carrots. Yes, there are. He says he wants more. But yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat, super chat, all that stuff. Again, Punk, Shoguns, shout out to him. He's a moderator that I enjoy seeing in the chat, definitely. Kirby, Lone Star, shout out to you. See, the Sony guys watching. We got some Sony guys that are really, really cool and actually watch the whole show and understand what we actually said, not the bullshit on Twitter and the clips and whatnot. So, do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and move forward a little bit here. We're going past the old Master Chief 10 million on PC. We're going past Sony's Discord deal, and they had a little space heater. And we're going to Sony charging for crossplay. According to Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, Colt don't die. He confirms that Sony is the only platform holder that actually requires, they require compensation for crossplay. He says that Epic had to agree to actually pay these fees in order to enable crossplay on Fortnite. So Sony charged you for crossplay or charged the developers for crossplay, therefore de-incentivizing such activity. That's kind of fucked up, Zucker.
Yeah, that actually really annoyed me when I saw that. That's so freaking annoying that they block things from gamers that, were starting to become a regular and something that we asked for and everybody was asking for, cross-play, cross-save. And you realize now, like back then, I don't know if you guys remember, developers were like, people were like, why don't you have cross-play? And they're like, because Sony doesn't let us. Like, remember that? Like, they were just like, because fucking Sony, that's why. And then everybody was like, hey, Sony. And they were like counting their money in the back. Like even Tim Sweeney. Didn't Tim Sweeney say like today or yesterday, whatever the hell it was, that they actually are Sony's the only company they have to pay to allow crossplay? He said that they actually have to give them money if, like, let's say you play most of Fortnite on PlayStation, but then you go and buy something because you're on your app, like on your phone through iPhone, that Sony's like, nope, we want a cut of that. Yeah.
They want a cut of every. Basically, their users, and this is what I kept saying about Game Pass coming to PlayStation. Their users, this is how much they care about them. Even if one of their users goes to another platform, they want a cut of anything that user buys.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. Selfish, man.
Selfish of you. Which, if Microsoft had done it or someone else had done it instead of president, like, it's just not the case. Like, we can't point to that until maybe some information comes out. But as of right now, Tim Sweeney's confirming it. Fortnite, you don't got to do that going from Xbox to other platforms. PlayStation, you do. Now, Sony fans in the chat, maybe in the comments, maybe let us know your thoughts on this. Do you care? And if you don't care, ask yourself why.
Yeah, and if you think that Sony's going... Oh, sorry, D. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, what about the gamers, man? What about the gamers?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you think that Sony is going to allow Xbox Game Pass on their PlayStation, where people are going to be paying a monthly premium and buying microtransactions all contained within the Xbox ecosystem in their house, there's no freaking way. And that stuff that came out with Tim Sweeney and Phil Spencer, where Phil sounds like his reasoning is to try and put Game Pass everywhere and make Game Pass the worldwide platform. And that's what we've talked about, that Game Pass is a platform as much as a console is. And so if he wants to put it everywhere he can get it to make Xbox huge and make it the dominating gaming platform to play everything. And if he wanted it on PlayStation, he would put it there, but there's no way Sony would allow it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was on PlayStation, you'd be streaming it through the Xbox data centers on Xbox hardware,
Xbox
using
Live.
your DualSense 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a number of reasons why that stuff is not likely to happen. Never say never, right? I mean, Bethesda just happened to them, but so I don't know, but I would say that there's a number of reasons, and I would also say that there's a reason that 2 years ago plus on the show we were saying eventually you'll have the option to play Game Pass right from your TV, like a Netflix app, or it'll come to your older console and enable you to play newer games. That's been confirmed. You would actually stream games from your old consoles, from an Xbox app, basically from your console, right? So that's a big deal in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's gonna breathe life into all the Xbox One S's out there and stuff. People that have the older consoles, they just have to use the xCloud and they can continue using their system, which just adds extra value to the Xbox brand, and it's another option. Like they're doing a good job, man. I don't even know what to say, bro, because like last generation, everything was so piss poor, and I'm sorry for the guys that work hard in their divisions, but the truth is the truth. It was a pretty poor generation, at least towards the end of it, and for Xbox guys, it was really demoralizing. And this generation, man, they came out swinging like features I didn't even know I needed. Like it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and that's the reason they've cut down on latency so much in the controller and the consoles, because they're trying to get rid of as much latency when you're playing stuff on the cloud as possible. And the best way, they're starting with the hardware itself, and then they'll advance their infrastructure from there. But again, that's a big deal. Again, Tim, this isn't necessarily surprising, Sony, the crossplay stuff. But what might be a little bit surprising, right, is these court papers came out from involving Stalker 2. And apparently this game, and it's a gorgeous game. They said it would not be possible in last gen hardware. We've heard that a million times, but I think at a certain point you've got to believe them when they're showing some of this stuff off. Stalker 2 potentially exclusive for 3 months only. And that's kind of the shortest window we've heard of in quite maybe ever, actually. I can't remember a time Xbox ever only locked something down for 3 months and it was a full game.
Well, I think you should take that with a massive grain of salt. Knowing Stalker and the development team, just to do the port probably takes 6 months itself. I just think that is just something maybe that they could maybe even... I don't know how you would look at that deal and say, hey, it's going to be on PlayStation in 3 months. If you think it's going to be on PlayStation in 3 months after Xbox, you're sadly mistaken. That game, I would think, is probably going to take a year if it even comes.
Was Blair Witch like a 3 month? I remember Blair Witch being a short exclusive window.
Blair Witch was pretty short. But
if anybody in the chat remembers,
I do believe that was around there.
That.
But I don't think that this game is. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't count on it coming fast to PlayStation, even if not at all.
Somebody said 3 month console exclusive, and then it goes to PC. But I would assume that game launches on PC and Xbox at the same time.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense why they would, unless they literally just didn't have the resources and they're like, look, we can only get it to one PC or Xbox first, or PlayStation. Right. Which one do you want to pay? Who wants to pay? Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff come out through the Capcom leak, right? I know PK from GRG had a lot to say on this and went through there and saw papers on Capcom being paid by companies to keep Monster Hunter on like Switch for a certain time, and there's all this stuff like that they'll money hat, right? Here's some money, pay for some development, quote unquote, and get out on our platform before others. So
see, I'm beginning to think that the huge news that was being pushed around, or get ready to wait, this week's going to be interesting, was all of this stuff. Right now, I do think the industry is a little bit on edge, including Phil's probably on edge. When you have an email that you think that, you're sending and nobody's ever going to see it, when you're speaking to one-on-one people in confidence, you never expect that to be in a court, showing up. So I do think that, I think the industry right now is on edge. There's probably a lot of stuff that we don't know about as gamers and stuff that goes on behind the scenes that will probably really piss you off. And I think that's what's going on. I don't know. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know of anything that's coming down. Like people like, what's the big news? I haven't been queued off or anything. So like I said, I think that this ongoing stuff this week is probably a lot of executives are going to be holding their breath and hoping that they're not a part of this.
Can I just say that like maybe this will change, but did you guys see like what Phil Spencer's response to Tim Sweeney was? It's like that guy's a permanent PR machine. He's like so nice in the email and like classy and just it's hilarious. I was like reading it. I was like, man, you think Phil to be like, oh my bad, I was late, man. Fuck, like, but he just wasn't. He was just like it's just like he was like at E3 again, like on the stage, just like what he does in interviews and talks. It's like that's what he is, and behind the scenes talking to everybody. It's kind of hilarious. I don't know. I thought that was a little tidbit that I laughed at.
So he kept it friendly. He kept it
Yeah,
nice.
He's a nice guy.
Feel nice with Spencer.
Hey, since we're
Because he
talking
probably knows that these things are under Disclosure Act when crap hits the fan,
Since we're talking about leaked stuff, did you guys see some of that? Well, I don't know, supposed internal stuff regarding Naughty Dog's creation of their games and the attention to detail. Did you guys see that leak? And if you think it's a valid leak, because I saw
Naughty
that.
Dog? I didn't see this.
Yeah, there was
the internal review that was going on.
Yeah,
that's real. That team is real. I know that team's real because I've been told in the past that their internal review team has Quantum Break at like 85 or whatever. So that's real, and I think that that team that whole thing is definitely real.
So what is it? Can you explain?
Well, they were based. Well, actually, Tim, you explain it.
They have a basically Xbox. They still do. They have an internal review team that basically for their games, and I guess other games like this that might have been a special project. But let's say Starfield comes out, they review the game and they give their feedback of where the score is and where they think Metacritic's going to land, and to give Xbox some feedback on that. So what happened is that I guess with all these leaks, there was an internal review of The Last of Us 2 by Microsoft, and it's definitely real. And most of it's glowing. It's saying that it's what we strive to be, or what Xbox should strive to be. They put down the gun. They said the gun combat was not great. But it is very real, and I can.
What did they say about the weird sexual activities?
I don't think they talked about that. But
why are you like this?
You could find that on you could find it on the internet. It's just it's standard practice by Xbox, but for their own games. I never heard it through Sony games, but I do think that they did it just to give the teams and everything an overview of where they want some of their AAAs to be.
I liked the detail that they went into Naughty Dog's work, and it to me personally as a fan, it shows me that they're really paying attention to what's being done. And I have to be honest, Naughty Dog, they're making some of the best looking games bar none. So if Microsoft is looking at that and saying this is where we need to be at, I think the studios and the direction of games going forward is really in a good situation. This is a small example. Like I saw recently some updated pictures of Psychonauts, and like I don't like Psychonauts, and I never really liked the art style of Psychonauts. But when I saw some preview images of it, it looks really good, and I don't even think it was the Xbox Series X footage as well. So I think it's a good thing to strive to be like them. I think it's the formula for success, because I think Sony, the last generation, they truly won it. Yeah, with some of the hype and the hoopla of the 1080p and all that stuff in the beginning, but they really ran away with the generation on the quality of their exclusives. And from time to time, I see some, hey, I love Xbox, but I just got to keep it real. And Ratchet and Clank came out recently, and that trailer was fantastic. I thought it looked really next generation, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it doesn't look next gen. It's cartoony." And I think this type of thought process is not going to get us the type of games that we want. And if we want these type of games, we have to admit the faults of certain games on the platform and strive for better. And just personally, me seeing this demo, it really gave me a lot of optimism on where the studios are going to go in the future with their games.
Yeah, Ratchet, I remember showing that gameplay off when they first kind of unveiled that stuff, and it's technically impressive. Like, you can't deny that. It looks good, and it should be quality if it's like the other ones. But it is something to be said when I think Colt was showing it off in a video, and people thought it was a new damn game. They couldn't tell the difference in a gameplay scenario. I think the new one is obviously more busy, but yeah. Yeah,
I showed the PS4 version when we first saw Rift Apart, and I had my gameplay at the end, and everyone said, "Oh, that's Rift Apart. Where'd you get that gameplay?" Because the Ratchet and Clank game looks amazing on the base PS4.
It does.
And what we saw the other day from Rift Apart was at 4K 30 with ray tracing. It looks fantastic. And I was looking in that really closely to try and see if all those background ships, I'm not sure if they're 3D or if they're 2D in the background, like parallax and everything. But it looks fantastic to have that many things going on. That game looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to look up Double Fine. I mean, I think the amount of people that work at Double Fine on Psychonauts is a fraction compared to who's working on Insomniac's Ratchet and Clank.
Are they trying to compare the two?
Well, I mean, like D is saying, that people are telling him that Psychonauts 2 looks like a 360 game. It's like, well, Double Fine is not that big of a team.
I mean, your engine and your talent defines what's possible, combined with your
65
resource.
Employees.
Yeah.
Let me get Insomniacs really quick while you're.
Insomniacs have a lot of talent.
Yeah, they're not on the same. They're not the same vein.
Yeah, 275 people, 275 plus as of 2017.
So you got like 4 times the employees.
Yeah, and of course a much bigger budget than whatever Double Fine has from Microsoft.
Double Fine's budget was crowdfunding at the start.
Well, yeah, I mean, almost all of the development of Psychonauts 2 is before Xbox Game Studios, and that's a multiplat at this point. It's a multiplat release. It's going to be on PlayStation as well.
Yeah, I wasn't comparing the two. I was just simply saying that the game's just looking a lot better than I initially thought it would look.
You're saying that don't judge a game by kind of its initial style or its art style.
Well, and he was also talking about like how even like those kind of games like a Ratchet is quality, and that's good to see that at Xbox, if that internal review thing, if they're looking at that stuff and understanding like it's good, and to be quite honest, those people need to do a better damn job.
Yeah.
So hey man, fuck it, I don't care, man. I want good games, and those internal people.
And now, in my opinion, there's no reason why they can't do it. They got all the talent in the world.
You should have locked down Monster Truck Simulator, damn it.
Well, this would be a good time for me to say something that somebody got really upset about. That I tweeted that looking at Housemarque's Returnal, they pushed hard for AAA, and they made this great looking game, and they wanted to be better than just side scrolling top down arcade games, and they pushed themselves, and they asked for more money, and Returnal looks great. And I said that Xbox Game Studios, a couple of the studios are doing the same thing. Like Compulsion is asking for more of a AAA style budget. They want to push themselves harder. And you look at Naughty Dog, who used to make Crash Bandicoot, and at one day they said, we want to do something big and cinematic, and they made the Uncharted series, and now they're one of the top developers in the world. And you can't count out these smaller studios, like even Double Fine. Like Tim Schafer makes these really quirky, interesting, quirky is the best word for his games, and eventually these smaller teams will want to do something different. Maybe they won't, but it's pretty cool to see a studio that has the funding. When I listened to An Exile saying we couldn't take the risks, we couldn't he said that audio and visuals were going at a breakneck speed, faster than we could keep up with. It was a small team, and once Microsoft came in and bought them, they thought we can finally do what everyone else is doing because we have the security blanket, we have the funding, we have the resources through Microsoft and Game Studios for Xbox. It's going to be a big deal, and everything's going to change and it's going to be awesome.
Speaking of awesome, I got to give a shout out to almost 1,800 people watching live, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't. Let's try to get closer to 1,000 likes from the end of the show. And, of course, share it out on Twitter, all your favorite places. Tell a friend, because as many people as we've reached, most people have no idea that we even exist, and we're not like a corporate show. I don't have a lot of corporate, guests on the show or nothing like that, because we just try to maintain some kind of dynamic, right? So, again, some weeks are better than others, but I like to think that we have an amazing chat every single week. Thank you for what you do as we kind of move forward, like we need to do, but badly. Stalker 2, Tim's basically saying, hey, I don't know about the 3-month window there for exclusivity, so maybe that could be something to do with PC as well, like somebody mentioned. We will see. The game looks pretty good. And when does that come out? Anybody know offhand?
They said this year.
2021, okay.
Yeah.
That new boxing game was this year too.
Yeah, I mean they were originally saying that it could be by launch, but with COVID and everything, that's why I say like 3 months for that team. Even if it is coming, is unrealistic. I would say 6 months at most, at shortest to post. And and I do think that possibly Xbox is looking at them too.
Ooh. So basically you're thinking they might actually be interested in acquiring them at some point, maybe even depending on how this game does.
Yeah, I listen. I think that they are a really talented studio and a diamond in the rough. And if they could buy low or get them at this point, because Stalker really looks good. So depending on like the game blows up and is a huge hit, obviously their buying price is going to shoot right up.
Yeah.
So
it's like how they waited to buy like Playground after like multiple 90 Metascore games or whatever. Like, come on, they're just quadrupled in value. Yeah,
it's right there, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's because Stalker, I did a video and they showed how they kind of take every single tooth in every single NPC in the world. Everyone has a different smile. Like that's how detailed this game is. But ultimately, we'll have to see how the gameplay is, right? How the game kind of feels to play. We know it looks good. But Tim, Game Pass, Xbox Live, now appears in the description of the base tier of Xbox Game Pass. Are they finally merging these damn things like we thought they would do?
No, they actually corrected that, so they fixed that.
Oh, it was an accident, quote unquote, or what?
It was an accident. But I do listen. I'll stick to the point that when Game Pass becomes to the point where they're over, like, let's say 50 million or 60 million, or their active users are over 40 million, 50. I think Xbox Live. I mean, if you look even in the leaked emails that Tim was talking about, and that was the time that we were all saying that it was going away. He writes that they would give him a 20% discount or whatever for the Epic Store, and I think the writing's on the wall with Xbox Live Gold. I think it's going to go away.
You mean Xbox Network?
Xbox Network.
Yeah,
get on Xbox Network.
I do think that I think it's going to go away. It just makes sense. Most of the games now are free to play. Games for Gold is half-assed, and Game Pass is the identity or the commonality that you associating Xbox with now. So I do think in time, I think that the multiplayer wall is going to go away, probably 2 to 3 years.
Well, that's just a big gate keeping customers out of their ecosystem, right? So why restrict it? It didn't make a ton of sense. But yeah, Tim or Colt.
Yes, sir.
There is the Returnal developer. You've been playing some of this game. I haven't played it. My PlayStation exploded. These guys are, they're quality, right? The game reviewed well. The game looks pretty good, especially for the team and the size of the game and the budget. But they are basically pointing fingers at PS5 and the platform for the issues they're having. Apparently, there are a ton of crashes and all kinds of things like that happening. They say that this is an issue with the platform. We have reached out to Sony on this. So there's literally a system-level issue with the box. It kind of reminds me of 2K that could potentially be, it's gotten better, but it's not completely fixed, where it's crashing PS5s and you're playing Returnal. And there's some other issues like the quick leaving, coming back, and not being where you were.
Yeah, I got harassed pretty hard for bringing that up. I was complimenting the game, and I said, too bad it's having problems with the hardware because everyone's complained about crashes. But I said, I haven't had any crashes. I've been one of those guys who I've only put a couple hours into it, but I haven't had the game crash on me or any like lockup or anything. But I haven't put in 15 hours. Like it takes to beat the game. But I brought that up, and boy, people got really rude. The game looks great.
Don't ever bring up
like you
PlayStation
said.
issues ever. Never ever.
Yeah, I
You should
mean,
know
apparently you can't. I mean, I won't even get into my game capture.
What
problem
about
today,
the so you're saying that I'll bring it up? All the clips are recording at 1080p. You haven't had any 4K clips from the PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
and the
so
internal DVR.
I recorded like 8 clips of Returnal, and I and I was putting them into my program, so I kind of montage them together so I can use them in a video later. And I brought them all in, and they were all 1080p. And I thought, what the crap? Because I had it set to 4K. And I brought that up, and people got mad, like I was bashing it. But turns out, if you record after the fact, like if you say, hey, record that clip, that last 15 seconds, that last 30 seconds, or that last 5 minutes, no matter what, it captures at 1080p. You have to hit record now and start playing as it's recording to get it in 4K. But it's not
even
the
with
case.
the capture card.
No, in the game DVR, the game capture part of the PS5. So the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X both have always allowed you to record at 4K 60 at a higher bit rate than PS5 even.
What's the bit rate on PS5?
It's around 20.
Hey.
So it doesn't say, because it records like this WebM thing that takes a third-party app to bring into your video editing software if you're not just sharing it straight to Twitter. So yeah, it's not cool, and I've had a few files corrupt, as many as I get on Xbox. So both of the game capture, this isn't even a discussion. Hardly anybody uses this stuff, but
some
both
people
of them
do.
have
You
their
can't
problems.
find this information hardly anywhere. You know.
Yes, you can't, because nobody really talks about it. But the end result is Xbox always records at 4K 60.
You just can't go back and watch them or trim them hardly.
It's really
DVR
bad.
team.
Yeah, it's really, really bad on both.
Yeah, we've complained about the Series X DVR bad, so they're apparently working on that.
But yeah, like others saying Returnal isn't a 4K game. Yeah, I mean, but it's a sharp, dang-looking game.
It's a 1080p game reconstructed, then puppeteered back up to 4K.
Yeah, and then all the pixels fill your 4K screen.
I mean, the game it's pretty decent, but like the crashing.
You have it, Stalker?
Yeah, I played it last night for a few hours. I was in a party. I was in a party while Rand was getting carried in Destiny with Lord Cognito and everybody. Yeah, but I was talking to them and hanging out for a little bit, and then I was playing some Returnal. But the game actually, I was like, the crashes is bullshit. My game legitimately crashed 5 minutes in, so I didn't lose anything because I was 5 minutes. I mean,
you're gonna die in 5 minutes anyway. But yeah, I haven't had a crash, and I usually get all the glitches.
No, I haven't gotten one since. It was just once, and I think I don't know what happened, but like I don't know. Maybe I'm testing it too. I didn't turn on my PlayStation 5 for so long. I had like 3 updates, and then my controller updated, and then I had to download the game, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna walk away from this. But either way, it crashed once, and then after that, it didn't crash again so far. But I'm enjoying the game. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, looks cool.
I'm confused about the game. It apparently doesn't have you can't save your progress, and it's like
so it's a challenge. It says it in the beginning. It's a challenge. It's meant to be
fuck
hard.
you, and then the game starts.
So the only time it
first
saves,
world and the boss, and then after that you never have to do the first level again.
Yeah. So the first level you got to get through it. You have to basically you get like guns, so you got to find a build. But then if you die, let's say you just die, you lose everything you got, and you got to start the level all over again.
You got to start your Xbox up and play Monster Truck Challenge.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, Gaming Forte was talking about that, but he was talking about a bug, like he had a lot of cool stuff, and then he just lost it. So I don't know. Hopefully they work on some of that stuff. Some of it's caused by the PS5, according to the developer, and they've contacted and reached out to Sony on that. So hopefully that gets
This
fixed.
isn't so much a PlayStation podcast, but like, have you wanted to talk briefly about Second Extinction since they both came out the same week?
It's so forgettable, I forgot. No, Second Extinction is a game that I think has good potential, but I mean, it's hard to even get in and invest yourself with so much lag and latency on the sticks. Even the Series X controller with much less latency than a normal one. And don't damage control this, Chad. If you played it, you know. You have to turn the right stick all the way to even look at full speed. Like I had to put my controls at 100% sensitivity just to even be able to even aim kind of normal.
It's an evolved 360 game, don't you? I mean, I know you feel
fine.
it. We
the
played it in
360
co-op.
games had great control, but damn, give me some dead zone sliders or something. That's got to be fixed before I can even sit there and enjoy playing it. And I'll just be honest, like I just don't want to.
I haven't even played it yet.
It's not that great, but sometimes the shooting feels great, but you drop pods and you do like little things, and you're basically just over and over. Raptors are coming and jumping at you with their feet and hitting you in the face.
Smell my feet, bitch.
And like you shoot them and they rip into a couple pieces, and that's pretty satisfying. But it really feels like it's built on the Crytek engine, even though it's not.
I think it's the Just Cause 4 engine.
Yeah, but it just feels exactly like Warface and
Dead Zones.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's a super small team. This team made Generation Zero that nobody played. Yeah, I'm glad it's in Game Pass, because otherwise you'd be paying $20 to $25 to play this game.
And that's why I haven't really spoken on it, because I know it's game preview. Like, and again, chat, like, we didn't sit here and rail on it before because we know it's game preview, and I'm not going to sit there and hammer a game when a simple update can fix the complaint that I have, so I can invest more time in it and actually enjoy myself, which is the dead zones, the sticks. The developer, please change this if you haven't gotten that complaint, which I'm sure you have.
Oh, and Returnal developers are going to address some type of quality of life. They don't want to talk about it yet, but like as well as Second Extinction getting like its updates and fixes as the community puts into it. It sounds like Housemarque wants to do something to make the game more digestible for people who are playing it for like an hour and then dying somewhere and starting over at the ship with a pistol. And yeah. I mean, there's more to it than that.
But, yeah, giving people an option.
I mean, Rand beat the game twice already.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to call Rand and make him take a shower. You know, like, so it's just, you know, Rand's a super soldier gamer, and
Rand's he's amazing. But he tweeted out that he did a second playthrough and beat through it. And Dealer and I were playing the Monster Truck Simulator, and I said let's reply to Rand on Twitter with a funny GIF, the same one at the same time. And we found this funny like gorilla with lipstick on, and we sent it at the same time. We laughed for a good 17 minutes at Rand's at his expense. So.
No, Rand's like, again, I think people underestimate his ability to just play fucking games. Like, the guy beats everything. He beat everything on hard. You know, he's not, it's nuts, man. But at the same time, I gotta go outside, roll on the ground, and shit. Like, you gotta just do some stuff. So, I mean, I give Brand all the props in the world, seriously.
Dealer's fucking neighbors just see him walk out his door, roll on the lawn, and then just go back.
I've been playing Xbox all day, so it's rolling in his grass.
You got nothing but green.
No, but Rand, I mean, seriously, he's a good friend, and we like to kid with him. But yeah, I mean, he's already beaten the game multiple times, and it's insane, you know, over the course of a few days. Shout out to King 2002, by the way. Says, I love the show, watch every week, but not sure why there's downplaying of the Sony Discord deal. People can make friends and chat no matter what platform. I mean, we're saying the same things we do with Xbox. Like, I don't think it's really going to benefit PlayStation a whole lot. I didn't even know all the details of it.
Crossplay, which is good for everybody, yeah, I think, is the end
which is
result.
cool, but, you know, it's Discord, and we weren't excited for it even when we thought Xbox might get them up. We thought it would be more of a Microsoft play and an xCloud play, but I guess we'll wait and see what Sony does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me also get another one here. Yodani, shout out to you, brother. He says, Phil Spencer coming out juiced to the gills, like Colt's thumbnail, right? He says, a la Barry Bonds. Yeah, he's coming out juiced like Barry Bonds with these studios. Yeah, Barry Bonds, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, honestly. Even before he was juiced to the gills, the guy had like crazy records.
His big ass head because he took steroids.
He used his head as a bat.
And I'm a Giants fan, so I'm just like, I don't give a shit about
Axel says, when a game leave Game Pass, but it's downloaded on my Xbox, do I lose the game?
Yes.
You lose the ability to play the game unless you purchase the game, or else it needs to be in Game Pass.
Yeah, if you launch it, it'll say, do you own this?
You still have it installed. But yeah. And then we've got Urban Ninja. He says, so all that SSD stuff Epic was talking about was about with the PS5 looking good, huh? Is this an older reference to the old demo?
PlayStation's SSD has not lived up to the 2 times faster than Xbox Series X, that's for sure.
The worst
part
they
were
riding
us pretty hard
on PS5, right?
You remember like that June until November, it was like the SSD was the super slow SSD in the Xbox Series X. That did not end up coming. A lot of stuff didn't come true.
Yeah, it was never true. That's why it never came true. Those guys used to think there was a graphics card in the SSD. Like I said in the video, they thought RDNA2 was a droid from Star Wars for 8 months until they learned what it really was. So, shout out to TL. They thought RDNA2 was a droid from Star Wars. Yeah. TL Protege, he says, dealer, I'm coming for you. Monster Truck Racing. He also says he just got the Samsung 65 QN90A, and it's glorious. Shout out to your brother. Enjoy. And then I'm trying to catch up on a few of these. Purple Hazed, he says, Batman Arkham Knight, 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing. Yeah, I don't know about that, but FPS boost isn't that powerful, sir. But that would be pretty awesome. Cat Miller says, is Bill divorced? Oh my God, you're talking about Bill Gates? Yeah, Bill Gates.
Oh yeah, I saw that last night.
He's getting divorced. But yeah, is it going to affect Xbox? Because I'm worried.
Poor fucking guy gets divorced.
Hasn't Bill Gates not been all that involved in Microsoft's affairs over the past
He's
year
like
or
a
two?
chairman for like a while. I don't know. Like he has nothing to do with Xbox. But if you're being serious, I think you're trolling. But yeah,
No, but that guy getting divorced started so many memes. It's like poor guy can't be private about his divorce. Now all these people are like, "Yo, so what dating app is he on?"
Yeah, it's that one for there's one for rich people. What's it called?
Not
Xbox. On there. Xbox has no games.
Actually, Madison, there we go.
And also shout out to Relic GTs. PlayStation don't need that many studios. They don't have the hard drive space.
Jesus,
y'all are savage.
Y'all toxic.
Y'all toxic.
Hey, can I just say something about Returnal real quick? I feel like because I was playing the game and I'm like, man, it's pretty challenging. I'm gonna enjoy this. I feel like a lot of people are gonna buy it and then die and realize that they're starting all over and be like, what the fuck? And just like return it or something.
Yeah, they'll be okay because they all buy their games disc based. So
there were no disc-based PS5s out there or discless. So that makes sense. They all have to buy them disc-based, right? You're good.
Yep.
Yep. There it is.
That's a good point.
Yeah. No, I mean it's not the game people thought it would be. I mean, I was hoping it'd be like their last one, where you just burn through the levels and you die and you start over and you pick up the guns like really fast. But yeah, this isn't really a bullet hell game. You go around looking for a chest to open up, and then if you get murked by like a bat dog that flies around, you got to go back to the ship with your sidearm. It's like suck.
There's little things they don't like really point out, like the orange bar under the health kind of gives you an idea on enemies, so you can like melee them, and then that causes them to get staggered, and then you can just freaking shoot them in the face for 20 seconds. There's little things in there that you got to learn.
I had to ask Ran. Ran goes, when you're dodging, you're invincible while you're dodging, so you can dodge through projectiles. I'm like,
State of Decay.
Yeah.
State of Decay.
Yeah, the game never told me that. Like you can dodge through something being shot at you. I'm like, oh. I mean, I was always jumping over,
right? Like, so you can't just phase through everything forever.
Yeah, it's a quick cooldown. It's like a 2 to 3 second cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't know what type of gamer the audience is and the chat is, but like when you die 5 times trying to get to a boss or beat the first boss, for what happens to me is my desire to continue playing the game starts chopping down like you're cutting down a piece of sausage, you know. It just like like you got like a
motherfuckers chopping down sausage in Returnal.
You know what I mean? Like it just whittles away my desire to continue playing that game. And I'm like, well, I just got to get good. And I talked to Rand on the phone about it, and he told me a couple things that I didn't catch. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and tried again. Died like 5 times, and I'm like, oh. So I put down my DualSense and I go play Xbox or go do something else, and I got to go back to it. Like that's not the people that like Dark Souls. That's not really my idea of fun. But for other people, that is absolutely their fun. So it's not for everyone for sure.
Yeah, some people are into some different
having a
things,
good time.
You know? I could go left with this, but I'm not going to.
Can I just say Luca on Twitter is the funniest? Like she's been playing it and she's like, yo, this is making me question my skills as a gamer. She's like, I'm just not liking this right now.
Yeah, she's really good. Like she's the master of Souls games.
She platinum Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And she's just
which also means she's super patient. I'm not very patient. I get tired cutting sausage.
All right.
Well,
what the hell was that?
What's that?
Was that Tim?
That was Tim turning into a bat dog.
Tim's dying about Returnal. He's like, I'm done with this shit.
Oh my god, Tim, you just murdered like 6 people. You broke the sound barrier.
Returnal.
Okay, well, listen.
Sig Larson says, Returnal not for old people. My arthritis.
I think we're getting
Let's
there.
move on to topic. Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Okay, let's talk.
Tim's having a seizure in the butt.
Yeah, we're not even. Okay, yeah, let's get through it. Okay, IO Interactive. I'm sorry, Tim, don't hurt me. IO Interactive.
Oh, wait, let's talk about this.
They're working on what is potentially a Star Wars game, a Mandalorian game, right? So this is well, hang on. Is that IO or is that no? That's not IO. That's
It's IO Interactive.
That's
IO
the no.
Okay, I'm on the wrong topic. That's my
IO is the Diablo
kind of third person.
Codename Dragon.
Codename Dragon Feet. There's going to be a Diablo-esque third person game from IO, the guys that only made Hitman, where I said make something else. They're finally fucking making something else, and this is going to be a new IP. Microsoft are hiring them to work for them, blah blah blah. Tim Dog, give us an exact release date.
It's gonna release 2024 and they're gonna be it's gonna be $210 on PlayStation.
Perfect.
That's the AAA status.
Mm.
No, 2024. This is one of, I believe, 3 Xbox Global Studios AAAs that have been pitched, and we're probably going to be hearing more about. And this is the first one to leak by our own Jez Corden. And it looks cool. People said maybe Games of Thrones, maybe Lord of Rings. I don't know. It has dragons. It's not scale bound. I just love the idea that with all that's going on with Xbox and all the producing of AAAs, and even hearing, I don't know if it's topic, but I didn't check at the end with like Coalition. They're going to be having 2 AAAs now. That you got Xbox Global Studios is now taking that step. And they're going to be having these AAA studios make AAA games, and they're going to be exclusive to Xbox. So, again, this is just more of the push that we keep talking about. And, yeah, it's been pretty crazy that they haven't had games 600 days without since Gears and all this stuff. But, man, they're just, when this dam breaks and everything starts to flow, forget about it. They are just loaded to the gills.
Hey, Lethal, by the way, I'm throwing you the Infinity Gauntlet. Go ahead and Thanos, Jamie there. I know you've been waiting for this. Run, Jamie, run! Hey, so yeah, I mean that sounds interesting, right? But would you rather talk about the Mandalorian game that's kind of being thrown out there?
Well, let's talk about. Let me jump on both of them. Because the IO Interactive one is actually pretty big, because they're expanding. They're apparently making a James Bond game, and they're expanding to 400 plus developers. Wow. So like they're apparently doing really well.
That's as
and
much as
Xbox, dude, they're basically Xbox funding them. This was like that big rumor of them buying IO Interactive or working with a developer in that region, and this is probably what it is them signing a deal for a fantasy-esque game that is going to be apparently like involving dragons, right? So that's that. As for the Star Wars game, this shit's all over the place, but apparently Xbox is an exclusive Star Wars game through Lucasfilm Games, and they are, so like what Jeff Grubb I think is saying is that the Coalition might be working on this, and that the Coalition is working on 2 games, Gear 6 and then this one. So they're expanding, and the last time we checked, I think, weren't they at like 300 plus developers at that studio?
I think it was like 350, something like that.
Yeah, 350. So they're expanding to probably 400. And if people remember, God of War, one of the biggest AAA games ever, only had 210 people working on it. So Coalition can expand to make 2 AAA games, and this Star Wars game is apparently going to be surrounding the Mandalorian or bounty hunters. Like, they're not saying that it's, the Mandalorian, the show, that it's going to revolve around there, but it's going to be revolving around some sort of bounty hunter or something around the Star Wars universe. And what Mr. Matty Plays, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is, he's talked about.
That was rude, sir.
Sorry, I forgot the guy's name.
Okay.
That guy. Sorry, Matty or Matt, whatever. He.
Anyway, yes, he was.
Anyway,
saying.
moving on. This guy said that Xbox is trying to lock down like franchises, basically like Star Wars, to compete with something of a Marvel Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, we heard that years ago. Like that's just people that are in general saying that shit. Like you need to get a Black Panther game. This sucks. Spider-Man.
Well, no, but like everybody's been saying it for a long time. But was Xbox listening? Right? Like that's what everybody was like. Dude, we need something. Like you need something to compete with.
Or just go to Disney like you did with MOB and just get Spider-Man on Game Pass tomorrow.
No, you got to go to Sony. But I just think that this Star Wars game is going to be pretty fucking big. I think Xbox knows, like let's be real here. God of War is one of the best games. We can play it. We love it. It's a big game. But Spider-Man sold more than God of War. And it's because Spider-Man is a franchise that's universally loved. That's the whole point.
It's right. It's
big,
like Roblox.
It's a big name. Yeah, it's like, imagine a big game, right? Like big games sell consoles. We get that. But a big game attached to a big franchise is going to freaking move mountains. And that's what Xbox, is trying to get right here with the Star Wars game, I think. And that's
so Jar Jar Binks the game.
I would buy that.
Yeah.
Misa likes.
Well, I mean, Zocker, anything that's not related, like not like trying to be the Star Wars movie, like Jedi Fallen Order was amazing.
Yep.
Like a Mandalorian type thing would be amazing. Anything that doesn't try to play off of whatever her name was.
And isn't like just an online microtransaction trash can. Like a
listen, if they make it
game that really put like Fallen Order.
We already have Battlefront 2.
I'm sorry, but Mandalorian, like watching the Mandalorian, you're like, this is a fucking video game. Like he goes, upgrades his armor, does a mission, upgrades his armor again. It's like
he goes into the bar and does some microtransactions.
Yeah, he just spits all these stuff. I'm like, dude, this is a game. Make this a game.
I was thinking that the whole time when I was watching it. I'm like, if somebody could just... Some of these TV shows that are coming out on streaming services are so amazing. I'm like, why aren't studios making games like this? There's so much potential out there.
Yeah.
Now that's what I call pod racing.
But can I just say that, like, once the rumors came out that Xbox is talking to Lucasfilms outside of Indiana Jones or whatever, because that's another first-party game, right? Like, Machine Games is making that. Like, another Lucasfilms game. So... I when I heard that they were like Star Wars, the first studio that came to my head was the Coalition, because to me the Coalition is the top studio next to Playground Games at Xbox.
You must not have heard of the Compulsion studio, sir.
First of all, Compulsion. No, I'm not talking. I don't care. Like, listen, Compulsion, like cool. Like, if you guys want to,
you don't even have to like address it. I was kidding. Go.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, dude, no, because people are going to be like, yeah, Compulsion sucks. Like, they're trying to make
Compulsion. They're apparently working on a bigger game as well. Like, they want to do bigger things. Not that it was necessarily granted.
Well, let's see if they can do it. Let's see if they can do it. But I know the Star Wars license, right, is not cheap. Think about that. So the first studio that came to me was the Coalition. I was like, yo, man, they held down last generation for you. Like, legit. Gears 4, Gears 5 are the best, like, games that came out next to fucking Sea of Thieves. And Forza. Like, Halo came out once and it wasn't that good, and that was it. Like, come on. Like, Coalition killed it.
Coalition is about, last I heard, 350 developers. So they're probably around 400. They're doing Gears 6, so that's probably wouldn't take that full team resources. So, yeah, this is something that is definitely curious, and being that it comes from Grubb, and he said that he didn't mention the Star Wars portion, but he did mention that they're playing. They're doing another AAA. It makes sense, and I think it's. I just can't believe how many AAAs are going to be coming from Xbox. It's just mind blowing.
Hang on, the glitch doctor. The glitch doctor in the comment. Is this true? Is this true? He says, I really appreciate Rand, but he played so much Returnal that he couldn't. He had to skip Xbox 2 this week. He didn't get enough sleep. Is that true?
Yes.
No, that's not what happened. We actually had to go to his house and, like we said, force him to take a shower. We're like, all right, Rand, come on, and we took the hose, started hitting him.
Jesus Christ! Do it. Randall, if that's true, I'm telling your dad.
Took the garden hose and hosed him down like Shawshank Redemption.
Like Shawshank Redemption.
And then I sat there with the sunlight on my shoulders.
But I mean, you think about it though. Like, I just remember all these people saying that Xbox is not going to have AAAs. It's all going to be fodder, and it's going to be all these small games. And what it is true also too with Compulsion, I had heard that a little story. I told the story too on this podcast, but I'll tell it again. That they were pushing to be bigger, and kind of like annoyed Xbox, I think, because like everyone wants to be bigger, and they kept pushing it, and then they actually showed their game, and Phil was very impressed, and Xbox was impressed. And now their trajectory is they're getting a new studio, and it can handle 120 developers, and they were once 45 developers, so they're actively growing too. That's why, like when Jim said that Jim Ryan said that they're gonna organically grow, I kind of laughed because I remember Dealer had the video where they hired 600 developers within a 4-month span, and then it turns out now that it's over 1,000. In addition to all of this, all with Bethesda and all the stuff that went on, Xbox has been growing crazy organically as well.
And that's why they're so quick to report on anything they say with Sony, because everyone's sitting there with their mouth open, like, fucking do something, Jim. Like, hire developers, expand, say you're going to spend $180 million. I don't know. And when they do, you hear about it, right?
I think the 180 or 185 million, whatever the hell it is, I think that's outside of first party. I think he's talking
probably
third party exclusives. So this is, in that Star Wars game and the IO Interactive game is 2 out of the 3, I think, or 4 AAA games that, Jez and Miles were talking about from Windows Central. They kind of talked about it, but they're not hitting them. And these 2 games, I'm almost positive, doesn't include that one big one. They said it's like a multiplayer centric one or something, like the Cyclone one that he was saying on the podcast. So like those games, like again, 2 big games that we're talking about AAA being developed. One third party, one first party, and then the other ones are still not even announced. So there's a lot of shit coming, and and I remember Phil talking in an interview, and I've said this before, that he's like, yeah, you guys, there's second party deals that we've are in the works with that we're not ready to talk about, and it's like shit. Like I guess you weren't.
I thought, didn't the Halo account tweet out the little Cyclone thing, or I don't know where.
Yeah,
I saw
that it was something. No, the Cyclone thing was Jez.
Oh.
He tweeted out that emoji.
No, I thought I saw like a Halo tweet that had the Cyclone.
It might be a Halo follower, which I keep thinking is
no. It was. Oh no, I don't remember what it was.
All right, well,
I know what you're talking about, but
It's like Whirlpool dryers for everyone. Look under your chairs. There's a Whirlpool dryer there for you. Unless you don't like that brand, then you can give it back. I'll take it.
Yeah.
IO, all that stuff.
Thanks so much.
Mandalorian game, right? Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. Check us out. If you haven't considered the like button, we do appreciate it. Share it out as we move into the final topics here. Now, Clobriel has stated publicly that he does expect the lineup of games to not only start kind of this summer, but remain consistent. And with this many studios, you would think hopefully that's the case. But there is an apparent E3 leak out there, some stuff going on with their summer showcase or whatever it's going to be. Starfield is supposed to be there. Apparently, Forza Horizon 5 would be revealed there, meaning they are actually going to bypass Motorsport and release Horizon 5. Then just see, it keeps like popping up, right? So it's looking like that might be the case, which is kind of different as we discussed last week. Halo Infinite, of course, releasing this year, looking better than ever. Again, looks way better than it did last year, the Roblox edition. And there's more reports of Starfield being exclusive, more and more. So, Zalker, I know you did a video on some kind of E3 leak here as well.
Yep.
If you had anything you wanted to add to this for the chat, who can also let us know your thoughts. What do you hope to see at E3, and what do you think will not happen this year?
So the Starfield thing, obviously, like, that is something that's probably going to be shown. It's a big game. It's going to be the big, the first big exclusive Bethesda brings out under Xbox. And I am, almost positive that it's going to be exclusive to just Xbox and it's not going to be on PlayStation. And they're going to harp on that all summer because they're going to be like, here's this big game. And, who knows? Due to COVID, we never know what's going to happen, but they're aiming for the end of the year. And like we've said, like, hardware might, still be like hard to get by the end of the year, but usually at the end of 2021 is when things will hopefully start shaping up a little bit, and the Xbox is going to be ready, available. They want Starfield there for that. So when people want an Xbox, and they want to play Starfield, it's going to be right there, and you can be able to get it. That's the whole point. Forza Horizon 5. This has been rumored for a long time. Jeff Grubb has talked about it. A lot of insiders, people like industry people have talked about it. Again, this is probably due to COVID that it was just delayed a year from last year. So now it's coming out this year, and I think that it's going to have like, the tech that they used before on it, and it's going to look awesome on the Series X.
So it won't be
and
like
it's going
a
to be
full
held
next-gen game, but...
yeah, it won't have the Forza tech, basically, like the new Forza tech, I don't think.
It'll have the old Forza tech.
Yeah, but it's going to be, apparently it's going to be in Mexico. That's the destination. That's where people think it's going to be, or that's where it's been leaked to go. Halo Infinite, obviously, is going to be there. We need to see gameplay, and I want to see the improvements they've done. We've already seen pictures. I think there's going to be some multiplayer, hopefully, but they need to show the campaign, and they need to show what it looks like, and don't fuck it up. I have high expectations of Halo, so should every single person on this panel and in the chat. Halo is one of the best shooters out there. Make it one of the best shooters. Don't fuck it up. Yeah. Outside of that, what else was there? Probably another game. I don't know.
Gears Pop 2.
I think, yeah, revamped.
Hey, I know we didn't even touch on this, but there was that little like rumor that the IO Interactive game is actually like a Diablo style game.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
For
no,
like
I didn't
20 minutes.
That. Yeah, I don't want it to be.
No, God damn. Well, I mean, what do you think about that, Colt?
I don't want it to be. I didn't hear you say the
It's
Diablo
like a third-person Diablo-esque style game, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want.
Why don't you want it to be, dude? Those games are freaking awesome.
I don't like them. I've tried them over
Well, it's like
and
a third-person game, though.
Some of them are good. Some of them have been good. It depends.
I've been playing
didn't
actually
like
a lot of
Minecraft
those
Dungeons. I didn't like. I've played a bunch of them. I've played probably a dozen of them lately, and I don't.
Like
really
Torchlight.
But what if it's third-person?
I
And
mean, it already is third-person. Diablo games are already third-person.
No, they're not. They're top-down.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's top-down,
out. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's going to definitely be top-down.
I mean, if it's
over
Diablo
the shoulder and third person behind, that makes a difference. But the top down ones, with the way those games are, I know everybody loves them, but I don't.
Yeah.
I like them a lot, so I would play the hell out of that, especially if there's like dragon boss fights. Like, that's fun. I played the Darksider one. I've played all of them. I've been playing the Warhammer ones. I beat the Warhammer Martyr one. That one's Inquisitor Martyr. That game's freaking fun as hell.
Yeah, Project Dragon is apparently supposed to be a third-person Diablo-esque style game.
I mean, the RPG parts of Diablo were ripped into Borderlands 1, and I love that, but I just don't like the gameplay from.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a clone.
Everybody's different.
I mean, but on topic, if I could chime in, yeah, if Xbox can carry out now, listen, Flight Simulator. From what I've heard, is unbelievable. It looks unbelievable. So that's going to be a nice summer game. But in the end, if they could launch Forza Horizon 5 Mexico, which I know, Dealer, you're a little disappointed in that because it's not going to be a full next-gen game.
Well, I just wanted Motorsport, right? But either way, whatever, it'll be quality.
The Motorsport's probably come next year. But you have that. Then you have Starfield. Then you have Halo Infinite. That's the start of Xbox, really turning the faucet on and just, being what we've been talking about for so long. I know we've been talking about this so long and probably is a little annoying, but they will, if they can drop those three, I don't think so.
Age of Empires.
Age of Empires 4, which I can tell you is coming to console. It's just going to take time. It's going to be a Gears Tactic type thing. But yeah, if those specific three come and land this year, that's a knockout punch for the holidays.
I'd like to see Age of Empires on console. Like RTS can work on console. Like Supreme Commander 2 is a perfect example of that.
And then not to mention, so Halo, like you were saying, Tim, all those big games, including 4 with Age of Empires on PC, like cool, like that's all great. But even the rumored of it, like Battlefield 6 coming day and date on Game Pass, that's a holiday. And from the rumors going around, Call of Duty apparently this year is like really bad in development, so they're bringing out like a remake of one of the older ones instead. Or something. So like
I don't know. They brought out remakes before, just tied as like a deluxe edition or
no, like it's going to be the main thing. Like apparently this Call of Duty's having some problems. Like
the pandemic threw a wrench in everyone's tire spokes.
Yeah. Well, not the pandemic. The developer apparently like there's just people left it or something. I don't know what's going on, but Battlefield 6 looks like it's going to be the competitor with Halo for like the 2 top first-person shooters multiplayer coming out at the end of this year.
Yeah, why would Microsoft pay them for a bunch of money to put it in Game Pass and compete even more with Halo?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they? Just more people, it doesn't matter. More people joining.
I'm not saying it's a lose-lose. I mean, you do draw more people into Game Pass, right? So you make your money back over time. But it's like when EA dropped Titanfall and Battlefield 1 in the same year and blew their own toes off with a 357
Yeah,
Magnum.
they don't have to worry about sales with Game Pass.
They don't have to worry about that.
Subscribers.
Yeah. They could draw more people in, and if Game Pass is the number one, they win both ways, so that makes sense.
I see it as them grabbing all of
shift
them.
thought if that's the case.
I think it's grabbing all of them. Like, there's a lot of first-person shooter gamers, and a lot of them are casual. If they just go like, "Oh, Halo, cool. Oh, I got it on Game Pass," and they're like, "Wait, fucking Battlefield's there too?" Boom, it's over. Like,
and then they come out with FPS deboost and lowers everything to 24 frames.
I love it.
D-Batch wants that the most. Hey, shout out to Johnny No Life, Destiny 2 News. Check out his channel. He does say, what the hell is second party? Second party is like if they take a developer that they don't own and pay them to make something exclusively for their platform, right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
All right. Close enough, apparently.
Yeah.
DJ Hero says, ready for Steep to come to Game Pass. Wasn't amazing at launch, but has been amazing after some updates. Series X and S enhanced? ? I thought that game was enhanced. Was it not?
No, and it doesn't run at 60 on the Series X. Only the Series S gets the 60.
What the fuck?
For Steep.
What'd you say?
Yeah, because some of the games that are using FPS boost are based off of the base Xbox One.
Can you play the base Xbox One version on Series X? If you want the frame rate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to have a Series S to get 60 FPS on Steep.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Yeah, it's part of the weird, unicorn magic that they got going on with FPS boost, where they have to kind of trick things. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, they tricked the consumer on that one. We got to fix that shit.
I mean, who's playing Steep, honestly?
Well, I mean,
I know a lot of people that like that game, actually. I've never played it, but I've had a lot of friends that say they just like play it if they're just chilling.
Hey, JV, I just said like probably 30 minutes of nice things about Returnal. So when you put the aluminum foil on your head, does your hair get all kind of funky and turn green?
Stick it in the broiler. JV,
these guys are so crazy. This community is so cut and dry sometimes. I mean, that part of the community, the dumpster community is just, they're amazing. Yeah, they're great. Love them. Yeah. So yeah, Others Inc. We were talking about if Battlefield and Halo Infinite, if Battlefield 6 went to Game Pass day and date, which is like this rumor has kind of been going around, if both of those games are in Game Pass, sales won't matter because Game Pass has proven that sales are increased while we're in Game Pass, and Microsoft would get a ton of people subscribing and way more people playing and engaged and microtransactions. Like, it is a win-win for sure. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wouldn't hinder Halo Infinite, and Halo Infinite wouldn't hinder Battlefield. At that point, it'd be like, have at it. Like, everyone join in the fun.
And it's all, but to come in here and join in on the fun, you got to, you want to get that Game Pass. That's their logic, right? So if they do go ahead and do the Battlefield deal, then buy it or Game Pass it. Up to you. And apparently, once again, developers, we talked last week, Dirt 5 developers said engagement and sales are way up because of Game Pass. And there's so many people out there that still are in denial about that stuff. But I think that's our show. And I want to thank each and every one of you who showed up. Seriously, thank you guys. You make us what we are, and it means a lot. Hit the like button if you haven't. I got to say it. Subscribe, all the good stuff. Retweet it, and we'll do some outros and kind of talk about what we've been playing. as well as The Secret to Life. So, D-Batch, tell people where you been playing, man, and where can people find you, bro?
As usual, Call of Duty. You can find me on Twitter, D_batch, and of course on YouTube at D-Batch. Was a great show. Can't wait for the news cycle to heat up with this E3 stuff soon. We should be getting a lot of news regarding E3. So some exciting times coming ahead, and seeing how it wasn't overly a huge busy week in news gaming. I think we had a pretty good show.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, definitely follow D, and we get a lot of comments about how D help dudes get Xboxes and PlayStations. Like the posts that you do, man, they really do help, and you're on that stuff. So the F5 master, as you would call it, right? Check out D-Batch. Tim Dog, brother, tell people where they can find you. What you been playing, man?
I can play. You can find me on Twitter, xCloud, Tim Dog. I've been playing Assassin's Creed, Unity. I also have been playing the show. Have been playing NBA. Been playing just testing a lot of games out here and there. Had a week off of not playing games. I just have been busy. But I really enjoyed my playthrough last night. I played till like 3 a.m. Yeah, you could also, I'll be here every week. Love the show. Chat's great. People are great. Panel's great. Good show tonight. And see you next week.
Seriously. Follow Tim Dog on Twitter. And also, Stalker, brother, where have you been? Seriously, where have you been? Your mom just called. No, what have you been playing? And where can people find you, man?
No, man, I've been around. You guys can find me on Twitter at Stalker87, YouTube Stalker87. I've been playing a little bit of Returnal. Obviously, I've been trying to play that game a little bit, but I haven't been home a lot, and I'm going to be out of town starting tomorrow for a little bit. So I'm going to try to play Returnal tonight, and then I play COD with buddies and all that, and then obviously Rocket League because I want to rank up, and I'm addicted to that game.
Aren't you like Diamond 5000 already? Holy shit!
I got the champion, and I'm trying to get farther. I don't know. I like competing in that game. But outside of that, like honestly, I've been reading a lot of comic books. I've been reading the Invincible comic because that new show on Amazon came out, and I waited for all the episodes. But if you haven't, that show is that comic is really freaking good, and the show I'm hearing is really good. But I haven't watched it because I just waited for all the episodes. So.
Yeah. Not to cut you off, but that show is incredible, man. Think of the boys on crack. Like it's just...
I know. I'm reading. I'm on volume 8 of the comics, man. I knew exactly what people were in for, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be fucking insane.
Well, I'll be sure to try to remember the name of that show, which I already forgot. What's it called?
Invincible.
And where can you watch it?
Amazon Prime.
Hulu. All right. Hey, follow Stalker at Stalker87 on YouTube. And Colt, what have you been playing, man? Where can people find you? How you been?
Good. I was playing Returnal and Monster Truck, a little bit of Second Extinction. And you can find me at Colt Eastwood on YouTube and Twitter. And I'm trying to think of where I'm at. Where am I? Next week, I'm starting a podcast called Xbox Newscast where I'll be interviewing people from the industry and talking about the weekly topics. That'll be Monday, the day before RDX, and then I'll turn around and do RDX the next day, and we'll go crazy. It'll be good, but I'll send out reminders, and I don't know how it's going to go. I've never done this stuff before, but with somebody like Dealer who's shown me how to do everything, and this panel I've been with for almost 4 years, we've been doing this show. Like, it's been such a great experience, and I appreciate everybody. So it's going to be really fun, and it's cool to see Fonz doing his own thing too, and everyone's having a good time. So we're getting ready for E3.
That big.
As Dealer takes a drink of his chocolate milk.
Soul. Yeah. Jeez. So Colt doing a show, and you said it's next week, right?
Yep. Monday. Yeah.
And you'll be here for probably a few more months after that. And then I just want to throw this out there. But I'll definitely be putting stuff out there, looking for, people that are excited and just want to kind of have a good time talking about some dumb shit that we enjoy talking about and that vibe with the panel. So we'll definitely be having some guests on and kind of getting some, I don't know, just filling some stuff out. Cause, this is a great show. It's a home to a lot of us here, and Colt, you're definitely, you're a original member. You've been here for like 4 years. So We do appreciate the time you spent on here.
I mean, it's cool to see you bring the panel people you brought on in our community that have been here for a while. They've been on the show and have gone, and then the people you brought on, like bringing on the head of Back and Pat, bringing on the head of hardware, and the community leader for Xbox, Major Nelson. Like it's amazing the stuff that we've been able to do together as a team. So like it just keeps going, man. It's so cool.
Definitely.
And if you would have told me a long time ago when Dealer first reached out to me, hey, someday we'll have like Major Nelson in a podcast with us. No way. Like it's really, really cool. And it's because of everybody who's tuned in and like corrected us and helped us and supported and
corrected us.
Amazing.
Fuck those people. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously. Like the first time I hear from Colt, he's in he's in my DMs on Xbox. Give me a shout out. Sony ain't going to Paris Games Week. It's amazing. Fuck Sony. And I'm like, okay,
oh yeah, I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have Major Nelson on the show together one day. Colt, don't you worry about it. That would have been how.
I never would
back and forth.
No way.
And
no way.
Yeah, seriously though, like when we first started, it was a super small channel. We had a bunch of. I wanted to get fresh blood, right? Nobody really had much of a following, and we just wanted to have like a chemistry and just people that vibe together. And we definitely look forward to carrying that forward. We picked up and found several people in the community that wanted to join, and I feel like we look to continue that and just kind of have great chemistry. That's what it's all about. If that means we can't have certain people from the industry on because they don't like fuck and they don't like certain words, and then they go and say it on the phone to their friend, fuck that. I'm not all about that. I'd be me at all times. And as you've seen, we had Greenberg and almost everyone that we could possibly ever hope to on the show, and we're not disrespectful. We don't say those things to them, but believe it or not, you got to be PG a little bit more than you would think for more of that stuff to come. I just don't even look for it. We do what we do, and Colt's going to do great things.
The gold standard should be the next guest. Honestly, like the next goal is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, we got to get him on, ask him what the hell's going on with the pills and why'd you do
that?
First
of all, sir, don't you dare disrespect him in front of me.
But seriously, to the 1200 still listening guys, we do appreciate all of us, and you help us build something special here. And of course, I'm a shill, so check out the shirts. The link down below.
I hate you.
Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and go subscribe to D-Batch, right? We're out.
That's right. Do it now.
Later, everybody.
Hit the like button, he said.
Lethal's a fraud.